Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. Now, last week the French government announced a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew in a bid to curb the rising number of Covid-19 cases, a measure that directly impacts many industries, including that of live concerts and clubbing, who've already suffered through the global pandemic. French electro being an important international export. Needless to say, many are concerned by the lasting impact this will have on nightlife. My guests this week are electronic music makers of different genres. Kate Zubok is a Ukrainian Paris-based electronica and techno DJ. She went from strutting her stuff down the runways to blending minimal, tribal and melodic sounds behind the decks. And we also have Christophe, who is a founding member of the band Télépopmusik, a pop act that came to global success in 2001 with notably the hit Breathe. Thank you both very much for joining me on the show today. First of all, I'm going to ask you, how have you both coped as artists in light of this global pandemic, and how much do you miss live performance? I'm going to start with Kate.
A lot. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here. And yes, it's been pretty tough times for all of us, I think. And yeah, what can I say?
Yeah, you were a DJ doing the rounds of clubs, so is that something that you've had to give up, and how do you survive as not being able to perform?
It's hard to survive, but thanks God, I have my husband that is there to support me and letting me to produce at this hard time, because otherwise I don't know how I was going to be able to survive. Mm-hmm. Even now in the restaurants, even if I go to do a waiter, and it's not possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's just difficult even to get an alternative short-term job.
Yeah.
Christophe, you had just released an album, you'd started touring. What was it like for you as a band?
It's very difficult. We started tour in February, so we were touring in the US at the beginning of the pandemic, and so it's very frustrating. Luckily, we were able to release this new album. So for us now, the only things to do is to produce new music. So I think all the musicians are doing this right now because it's the only possibility. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, because of this money problem, this lack of incomes, I think a lot of musicians are quitting and trying to get some other jobs or going to the countryside. So we have to be all together, and I hope it will come back at normal, like in spring or next summer. Mm-hmm. But for sure there will be no concert, no clubbing until next summer, I think.
Well, obviously musicians and DJs are affected. Also, club venues, since this France's new curfew is on for, it's been imposed in major cities for at least 4 weeks. France 24 went out to talk to one of Paris's concert and club venues about the ordeal and to see how they were coping.
Le clubbing en intérieur, ça va être impossible à mettre en place. Après, il y a des initiatives qui commencent à sortir pour pouvoir faire du clubbing en extérieur, qui sera déjà un peu plus possible à partir du printemps ou de l'été prochain. On a plutôt opté pour un format cabaret qui nous semblait plus convivial et plus chaleureux. Et l'idée, ça va être d'y présenter des spectacles musicaux, d'y présenter des films, du cinéma, des conférences, des ateliers, quelque chose d'assez pluridisciplinaire dans les prochaines semaines et les prochains mois, sachant qu'on se dit quand même qu'on en a encore pour quelques mois sans pouvoir faire du debout.
That's how La Machine Du Moulin Rouge, which is situated just near the infamous Moulin Rouge in the Pigalle district, is coping. Obviously, they've got a lot of options, unlike some other clubs. As artists, are there any measures you feel that governments or the French government could have taken that would have eased things for, concerts and club nights?
But I think the government is afraid, so they are not taking any risk. They're afraid to be sued by the people, by some associations, so they're not taking any risk. So I don't think like doing a live stream. It's frustrating as well because it's not making any money. So as I said, it's better to concentrate on producing music and accept the fact that no, it's impossible to perform. No.
And what about you? Do you talk with other DJs? Have you come up with possible solutions or any things that you would have liked to have done?
Solutions is to make music for movies or some advertising or I don't know, wherever it comes. We try to survive, all of us. In these hard times.
Yeah, and also I suppose because obviously advertising revenue has gone down, it's rippled effect down onto the music commissioned to make.
Yeah, all the music for documentaries, for movie, there's no new release for movies. Like all the Hollywood movies, they are like quite shut down for now. So you can only produce your own music and make some stock of new music on your computer and
keep it for later.
Wait.
Well, despite the pandemic, you've actually both been super productive, and you've recently released new music. Kate, you're one of Paris's hot underground DJs, and can you tell us a bit more about yourself? Because you've gone from strutting yourself down the catwalks and to the decks. We'll just check out a little clip of what you at work right now. Fabulous coat there. And can you tell us how you made that transition from the world of fashion to the world of DJing?
I always used to love music since early childhood, and so it was quite easy transition. As soon as I tried to DJs, I fell in love, and I understand that's what makes me happy, because through my music, I can make more people happy.
Okay, well, you've got prominent French DJ Agoria, who's very involved in promoting live scenes and organising festivals, and he's put you as part of his label Sapience's project called Regeneration 2. You're part of 5 DJs that are hotly tipped by him. Can you tell us a bit about this Regeneration 2 project?
Regeneration project is a project for the new artists that are coming up, and to actually support them at this hard time. And we are here to support people through our music in this hard moment, because I think music is capable of heal us in some way, even better than medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's the idea of, like, normally you would have probably had events and so on, but that's just on hold for now, but we'll just hope things get better. Christophe, you're like a French music veteran. It's with over 20-year career. Can we say that? What's it like for you looking at new emerging electronic music scenes? Have you been watching them from?
Oh, there's so much. There's like all this new chill scene, like this label Roche Music. I think some of them, they were liking some Télépopmusik tracks back in the days. So I guess we are an influence for some new musicians. But like some French band, I don't know, because now it's in between pop, electronic. Like the young generation is mixing a lot of influence, as we did like when we started Télépopmusik. So there is Hervé. I really love La Femme. So there's a lot of good music in France now.
Now, your new album is called Everybody Breaks a Line, and it seems like there's a lot of lines that need to be broken in 2020. We're going to take a look at one of your recent videos. Track from the new Télépopmusik. Now, Christophe, how would you say your sound has evolved over the last few decades?
When we started, it was the beginning of using a sampler, so it was a very good way to mix different influence. You were taking like drums from some jazz stuff, some sounds from techno. But I think as we took a lot of time to finish this album, we went back to our first influence. We had some pop bands before, so we keep for this album all the tracks that was with a good writing. So being able to play with a guitar. So it's more a pop electronic album.
Well,
it's more songs.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot more singing.
Yeah.
Like, probably. Well, thank you very much. It's a great album. You should check it out. You should also check out Kate Zubok's work. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to France 24 today. And as we all kept saying, difficult times of COVID. France 24's news is coming up in just a few minutes. Remember, you can find all our culture stories on france24.com as well as on our social media. Do feel free to drop us a line. We're going to wrap up the show with a look at the new Bruce Springsteen. The boss is back with his 20th studio album, A Letter to You, recorded over a 4-day period with his longtime collaborators, the E Street Band. The 71-year-old's track Ghost tackles themes like belonging and death due to illness and time. Very matching, I would say. Anyways, see you next week.